Hello, and welcome to the example for Domain 1 hands-on exercise. We will begin with doing a split screen. We will go to the View tab, we will go to the Window group, to the Split button, and I will grab the resizing handle right here and adjust the split of my screen. In the bottom window, I will scroll down to the bottom. I will find the instructions table, and we can begin. Step 1. Set up the document pages. Apply the following changes to your document setup. We will want normal margins, a portrait orientation, and we will apply the centered style set. So, margins and orientation live on the Layout tab. I will come over to Margins, and I will select Normal. I will go to the Orientation. Observe Landscape is currently selected. We want Portrait. I'll click on Portrait. And then, if this adjusts my lower window, I'll scroll back down and check my work here. I need the style set centered. Style sets live on the Design tab. Style sets live right here. I will scroll up to the top. I'll expand my gallery by clicking this More button, and I will find the style centered. I will go ahead and apply the style set, and you can see all of my headings and titles and subtitles now reflect the new style set, which is great. All right, step 1, done. Step 2, add a header to all the pages except the first page. Apply the header style sideline. So I'm going to come up here to the top window. I'm going to click in this window just to make sure. I will go to the Insert tab. I'll come over to the Header group. And I will come down to the Sideline header. Click right there. And then we want to have all pages reflect the header except the first page. In order to do this, I want to make sure this different first page is checked. You can tell that I have a different first page because the header on the top page says a first page header. And if I scroll down, I get a different header, just a plain header for all of the rest of the pages. So if I uncheck this different first page, I get just a plain old header on all my pages. So I'm going to make sure that I have the sideline selected for header, and it shows up on all my pages. And then I'm going to click a different first page. There's my first page header, and there's my second page header. In order to make my first page different, all I need to do is select and delete, 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 and delete. I hit my delete button several times. Now my first page header is gone, but all my other pages still have a header. Okay, I can close that up by clicking the Close Header Footer button on the Header Footer Tools Design tab. And let's see what's next. Step number 3, add page numbers. We want them at the bottom of the page using the plain number style 3. So once again, we head to the Insert tab. We come over to the Header Footer group. This time I'm going to select the Page Number button. I'm going to go to the bottom of the page and I'm going to do the plain number 3. Click right here. You will see the first page footer shows me a 1. There is no 1 on the second page footer. What I have happening here is this different first page box is checked. I'm going to uncheck that because I want my headers to my page numbers to show on every page. So now I have just a plain footer at the bottom of the page here. And I will need to come back to my footer, go to the page number button, bottom of the page, plain number 3. Now I have the number 1 in the footer, and I have the number 2 and 3 and so on. So this different first page button can be a little finicky. If it is already selected when you come into the header footer, sometimes you need to apply your headers and footers a couple of times. Take a few different runs at it, see how it works out for you. So you followed along with me as I got mine to work out, so you can go and play with that in your own document if you had some trouble. I'll go ahead and click the Close Header Footer button, and let's just verify. Oh, my header came back over here. All right, so it looks like my header showed up on the first page again, which I do not want, so let's get back in there. In order to edit a header that is giving you trouble, just put your mouse on it and give it a nice double click. That will activate this screen for you. We want a different first page, so now the first page header disappears. And now we can close our header footer, and let's just verify. Our header is gone, but we do have a page number on the first page. Second page has a header and a page number. Okay, so yes, headers and footers in Word can be a little finicky, so feel free to work through that a few times until you get the hang of how Word is interpreting all of your clicks. So that was page number 3. Number 4, add a page border. We want a shadow style, a dark red, 1.5 point thickness applied to the whole document. Page borders live on the Design tab, all the way over at the end of the ribbon under the page background group right here. We will click the Page Border button. Notice we have 3 different tabs here, and they are Border and Page Border. Look very similar, so make sure you're on Page Border. We will select the Shadow option. Under Color, we will choose Dark Red under Standard Colors, and under Width, we will choose 1.5 points. We will apply this to the whole document and say OK. And you can see that I have a border around all of my pages now, from one all the way down to the end. All right, so that was number 4, adding a page border. Number 5, link to a location within this document. This asks us to select the words financial well-being from the first paragraph. So let's come back up to this top window, and we will zoom up to this top paragraph, and we want the words financial well-being from that second to last line in that first paragraph. Now we're going to go to the Insert tab, to the Links group, and we are going to click the Link button. Under Link To, we want to choose a place in this document. This will display a list of places in our document, headings, bookmarks, etc. We are going to link this financial well-being text from the first paragraph to the financial well-being section of the document, and we can do that by clicking under the financial well-being heading. We'll say OK, and we have turned financial well-being into a hyperlink. To test your hyperlink in Word, you need to hold down the Control key. So hold down your Control key and then mouse over the link, and you'll see your mouse turns into a link finger. Single click, and we have jumped down to the financial well-being section. So our link works. Yay, us. So that's number 5. Number 6, search for text. Open the navigation pane. We can do this one of 2 ways. We can go to the Home tab, all the way over to the Editing group, and click the main part of the Find button, and it opens the navigation pane for us. Or you can go to the View tab, you can go to the Show group, and you can ask the navigation pane to show. If you have a floating rectangle like this and you like the sidebar better, just click on the header of that dialog box and drag it as if you're trying to push it off the screen, and it'll snap into place in this sidebar. If you like it better in a floating box, grab that top of the box and drag it back into your document, and you have a navigation pane that you can move around. Okay, so we will type the word health into our navigation pane, and you will see that in fact we have 7 instances of the word health in this document, and you can scroll through them by using these up and down arrows. 1 of 2, 1 of 7, 2 of 7, 3 of 7, and so on. All right. So that's 7 instances. We did it right. Number 7, move to specific locations in your document using the Go To feature. All right, let's close our navigation pane here. We'll go back to the Home tab, to the Editing group, and we'll grab the drop down under Find, and we will grab the Go To option right here. Go To allows you to jump specifically to a place in your document. So if we want to go to a specific heading, on the left-hand side in the Go To What, we will choose Heading, and then you enter the number of the heading that you want to visit. We want to go to our first heading, the first piece of our document that we have formatted as a header 1. That's the heading, and that would be our introduction. So let's go ahead and enter heading number 1 and click Go To, and we should jump straight to the introduction paragraph. Perfect. Let's go ahead and close this, and let's move along. But just FYI, if you happened to open your navigation pane and you grabbed the drop down here, you can also find the Go To there as well. So many roads to Oz. Go ahead and close out of there. Number 8, display hidden text. They want us to use the Show Hide Formatting Marks command button to display hidden formatting marks in text. Be aware over here, we talked about this in the introduction. Make sure the upper half of your screen is active before you turn on the Show Hide Formatting Marks button. This is one of those options that can be turned on just for one of your 2 windows. So make sure your cursor is blinking in the upper screen. Then we're going to find the Show Hide Formatting Marks on the Home tab, in the Paragraph group, in the upper right corner. Go ahead and single click to turn this on, and now you're going to see this black backwards P with the double downstroke indicating a hard return. You got dots to indicate spaces. You've got all kinds of formatting marks in here. The other thing that we have is under social well-being, you have a paragraph of hidden text. You'll notice it because it has this dotted line underneath it. Before we turned on our Show Hide Formatting Marks, this section did not appear. I'll go ahead and turn this off real quick, and you can see that that paragraph only displays when we show our hidden text in our formatting marks. So now let's use the navigation pane, and we'll do another search on the word health. Let's just see what happens here. You will see that there are 8 instances now because there was an instance of the word health in this hidden text, which is great. So let's go backstage and let's ask the hidden text to always display, whether we have the Show Hide Formatting Marks button on or not. I'm going to close the navigation pane here. Let's scroll down to the social well-being group or section so we can see this paragraph of hidden text. In order to ask the hidden text always to display, you'll go to the File tab, you'll go down to the Options button here, and we will select Display from our options. And then in the Always Show These Formatting Marks on the Screen, we will select Hidden Text. And when I say OK, that means that any hidden text will not be hidden anymore. So when I come back up to this top window, you will see my Show Hide Formatting Marks is still on. You can still see my hard returns, all the dots between the words indicating spaces. Let's go ahead and turn that off. All the formatting marks disappear except for the hidden text, because in my options, I specifically asked for hidden text to always show, no matter what. So, got that all taken care of. We verified the hidden text is still displayed, even though the other formatting marks are now hidden. Number 9, locate and correct accessibility issues. So we're going to go backstage and we're going to use the Check for Issues dropdown. Remember, backstage is accessible by clicking the File tab. You should default to the info screen, but if you don't, you can always click this button. On the Check for Issues button, we are going to check accessibility. So we'll give this a single click, and we get a sidebar that pops up, and it tells us a number of things about our document that might make it difficult for people with accessibility issues to access. For example, if I have low vision and I'm using a software that reads the document out loud to me, what Word is saying here is that these pictures that I have in my document are missing alternative text, so the software doesn't know what to say about them. So this says, let's add alt text to picture 6. So I'll come over here and I'll click on picture 6, which is this woman holding a coffee cup. I'll grab the drop down right next to it, and I will say I want to add a description. If I click on this, the alt text window opens and I can type a quick description in here. Woman holding coffee cup. If I didn't want to type a description or I wanted Word to do it for me, I could click this generate description for me button and it would come up with something pretty comparable. So I will close this and close this. There's no need to do any saving. Okay, so that's number 9. Number 10, locate and correct compatibility issues. Once again, we're going to head backstage and we are going to check the compatibility and we are going to see with 2 or 3 different versions of Word whether there are any compatibility issues. So the first one it says is we'll choose only Word 97 through 2003 and see how many issues are detected. So I will go to my File tab. I'll go to Check for Issues. I will choose Check Compatibility. And then under Select Versions to Show, I only want 97 2003. So I will uncheck 2007 and I will uncheck 2010. And right now I'm only looking at compatibility issues between my current version, which is 2019, and Word 97 through 2003. Looks like there are 2 issues. So the next piece here says, now select only Word 2010. How many issues are detected now? So we'll head back to the File tab. We'll go back to Check for Issues. We'll go back to Check Compatibility. Under Select Versions to Show, we will uncheck 97 2003 and uncheck 2007 and only have Word 2010 selected. And as you can see, there are no compatibility issues with 2013. Or sorry, 2010. Yeah, 2010. We'll say OK, and let's keep moving. Number 11, modify document properties. Once again, we'll be heading backstage to check out the document properties on the right side of the screen. It wants us to change the document title from Susan's Book Club Pick to Best Business Books. So let's go take care of that. File tab, Info button right here, Properties all the way over here. Under the title, here is Susan's Book Club Pick. We are going to change this to Best Business. Again, nothing to save here. I'm just going to use this back arrow to go back to the primary document. And it says to observe the header. Does it reflect the title change? So let's scroll down to page 2 and you can see that the title, which was listed in my header, now reflects the title from the properties, Best Business Books. So we won that one. Number 12, we're getting down to the bottom here, you guys, only 2 more to go. Remove hidden text and personal properties. Once again, heading backstage to that info screen, using that Check for Issues drop-down button again. This time we're going to choose Inspect the Document. It's going to prompt us to save because I'm going to do things in this section that I can't undo. So it's good to say, yes, I'd like to save this before I continue. I'm going to look at specifically the document properties and the hidden text, and I will remove them all. So let's just satisfy ourselves that in the social well-being section, that section of hidden text is still here. And let's go back to the File tab and the Info screen. We are going to inspect the document. This is where it says, do you want to save? And I'll say yes. I want to look specifically at document properties and personal information, so I don't need to deal with comments or task pane add-ins or any of the rest of these. Not interested in any of these. But the hidden text, I want to see if Word finds any of that. So I'm looking for hidden text, and I'm looking for document properties and personal information. I'll hit the Inspect button here, and it says it found document properties and personal information, and it found some hidden text. I'm going to remove all, so I will click Yep, strip away that personal information, and yes, get that hidden text out of there, and then I will say Close. So let's just check out the social well-being, and sure enough, that section of hidden text is gone. If I go to the File tab on the Info screen, if you look over at the right-hand side and look at all these properties, you can see that the title is gone, the tags are gone, the comments are gone. My name is no longer listed as the author or the last modified by user. So looks like we were successful in stripping our personal information and our hidden text out of this document. The very last thing we're going to do is save this file as a PDF. A PDF is a portable document format. It's a lot easier for people to read using different kinds and versions of software. So it can be a nice tool when you're collaborating across organizations and everyone doesn't have the same software. In order to do this, once again, we will go backstage. We will create a PDF/XPS. We're going to choose the PDF option, but we're only going to ask it for pages 1 through 3, and we will not allow the file to open automatically upon saving. Okay, we've got our orders. File, Export, create a PDF/XPS. So here's where I can control some things. I'm going to save it as a type PDF. That's automatic here. If I click this button, it will automatically open the file for me once it is done. I do not want that to happen, so I'm just going to uncheck that. Under Options, this is where I can tell Word that I only want pages 1 through 3 of my document. And then I'll say OK and Publish. And then Word in the background will create a PDF version of this document, only including pages 1 through 3. And that is our final instruction, and that is exercise 1 to end the domain. If you have any questions about this, please get in touch with your instructors or facilitators so they can help clear this up for you. Otherwise, nice work. Feel free to do this exercise as many times as you wish until you are feeling comfortable with these new skills, and then you can progress to domain 2.